Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshvabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Hare Krishna. So, welcome to all of you for today's Bhakti Vedanta class. So, we'll be studying from 22nd chapter of the 11th canto. From 31st sloka onwards, we'll be studying. Okay. We finished till 30. So, the major discussion. What was the major discussion? The discussion is the difference between the Purusha and Prakriti. So, this is the thing. Because they have anyonyashrayata, that means mutual dependency. Prakriti and Purusha both have mutual dependency. Pangu andhanyaya. So that means Pangu is having the dependency on the Andha. Andha is also having the dependency on the Pangu. Like that, Prakriti is also having the dependency on the Purusha. Purusha is also having the dependency on the Prakriti. Then how to understand this Prakriti and Purusha separately? This is the question asked by the Uddhava. Then to answer this question, so Krishna started from the sloka number, you can see which sloka he started. 30, 29, 30, 30, no, 29. From 29 onwards, he started saying, Prakriti Purushas Cheti Vikalpaha Purusharshava, Yesha Vaikarika Sargo, Gunavedikaratmaka. That means it is the goal. That means, what is the goal? So, explaining the difference between the Prakriti and Purusha. This is the goal. Mamangamaya Gudamayane Katha Vikalpa Buddhischa Gunaihi Vidatte Vaikarikistrividho Adhyatmamekam Adhadidaivam Adibhutamanyat. This is done actually. 30th sloka. So we are going to study further 31st. Drugrupamarkam Vapuratra Randre Parasparam Siddhyati Yasvatah Sve Ke Atma Yadesha Paro Yadya Swayanubhutya Kila Siddha Siddhi.
Sight, visible form, and the reflected image of the sun within the aperture of the eye all work together to reveal one another. But the original sun standing in the sky is self-manifested. Similarly, the Supreme Soul, the original cause of all entities, who is thus separate from all of them, acts by the illumination of his own transcendental experience as the ultimate source of manifestation of all mutually manifesting objects.
Yes. I'll read from Jiva Goswami's commentary. Srila Jiva. Jiva, 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 Jiva. So in the previous sloka, what he said, Maya is divided into three types. into three divisions actually. Adhyatmam, Adidhaivam, Adibhutam. Yes? Adhyatmam, Adidhaivam, Adibhutam. So now, what is the main goal? We have to see the difference between the Purusha and Prakriti. So Prakriti is divided into three: Adhyatma, Adidhaivam, Adibhutam. So in the previously second canto, 10th chapter also we understood Swashashraya. That means Ashray Tattvam, to establish Ashray Tattvam. So at that time also Sukadeva Goswami is explaining the taking this body. So that means Adhyatma, Adidhaivam, Adibhutam concept he explained. So Jivatma is independent. Even so superior to that, Paramatma is even further most independent. So Swashraya Ashraya, he is it is fully self-sufficient and also is the cause for the others dependency. So all other dependent on it. He is shelter for others. He has no shelter. He himself is a shelter and he is shelter for others. So we discussed in that same kind of thing is discussed here also. How to separate, differentiate, how to differentiate the Jivatma from the body. So Adhyatma, Adidhayam, Adibhutam, these three are the बहुत गर्म हवा रहे हैं जो ये बोला एतत् त्रैविध्यं शृङ्गग्राहिक एव दर्शयति शृङ्गग्राहिक एव दर्शयति दृग्रूपम इति पता नहीं रंध्रे गोलिके दृक् जब भी रखो उसका आधा घंटा लेट आना यही 1 बजे रखो तो 1:30 बजे हाँ ठीक है हाँ ठीक है बंद करो हाँ बंद करो बंद करो बंद करो अच्छा है बंद करने दीजिए रंध्रे गोलके दृक् चक्षुर इंद्रियम तदध्यात्मम उपलक्षणमेतत् अध्यात्मम इंद्रियाणि तैजसहंकार रूपाणि तैरेव विपरीतं न What is said here? Chakshu, eyes. This is what? Huh? Adhyatmam. Okay. Devata. Adhisthana Devata of this Chakshu. Adidhaivam. And next Vishaya. Rupam actually, yes, Rupam. Adibhutam. This is from the Taijasam. Yes, Taijasam. This is Vaikarikam. Vaikarikam means why it is Vaikarikam? It is from the Satvika Ahankara. It is Tamasam. It is from Tamasa Ahankara. Yes? How these three are coming? From the different Ahankaras, they are coming or not? So Chakshuhu Taijasa Ahankara Swarupani. Taireva Viparita Gnanam Jayate. So Ahankaraha Vidyamane Brahmaha Bhavati. Nanyat iti Vachanat. Paratra. So these three with the along with Ahankara, false ego plus these three will be giving the what? Viparita Gnanam. Viparita Gnana means all this material world. Yes. And also Viparita Gnanam are Brahma. Sometimes Brahma also will be coming. Okay. So apart from this Ahankara, that's Adidaivam, Adibhutam, Adhyatmam, there is, apart from this, another one, that is Atma. So apart from all of these, there is one more thing, is that is Atma. Atma refers to Jivatma and Paramatma. Jivatma and Paramatma. So Dehadidvaya. So Ahankare Nanyaditi Vachana Paratra Dehadi Deha Bahir. So Yadrupam Tad Adibhutam Tamasam Paratra Divi Yaha Arkaha. So for example, like, so there is a sun. Example is given. Sun is there outside to all of these three. Same way, there is, apart from all of these, there is Atma. Atma and Paramatma. Both are existing. So Adhyatmadhigata Chakshuradi Itarapekshaya Siddhi and Jnanakyam Prayojanam Bhavati Asosiddhas. So these are all Paraspara Siddhi. So these are all what? So all these three Parasparam Siddhyati. Parasparam Siddhyati means Anyonyashrita is there. One depends upon another. Parasparam Siddhyati. Interdependency is there. Interdependency is there. Without the chakshu, that means, so you cannot, that means ultimately this is pen. This kind of knowledge has to be produced. Or this is marker, whatever. Chakshu is not there, these two will not work. So even Devata is not there, these two will not work. Even Rupam is not there, these two will not functioning. So no use of those. So that's why these three are, this we discussed very long back. So in many places in Tattva Sandarbha we discussed, and also to establish Atma. So apart, these three are interdependent. So that's why these three cannot be so ultimate things. There, these Ashraya Tattva, these cannot be. And these three are, so that's why this is the thing. You can, what is the Uddhava's question? What is the difference? How to find the difference between? How to find difference between Prakriti and Purusha? This is the question actually. So then this, that's why to answer this question, this much story is going on. So now that means to produce outcome, these three are needed. They are mutually dependent. So only these three are sufficient. Only just by these three, everything can happen. That means knowledge, this is marker, that kind of knowledge can be produced. No, there is a need of another independent one, that is Jivatma and Paramatma is also needed. Paratra, that means here it is said, Aparaha Yaha Adyaha. In the sloka, if you see, Aparaha Yaha Adyaha, that is that, that is what? That is Atma. Na etavata paraspara siddhi puryata. Just these three are present. Presence of these three is not sufficient to produce the knowledge. So also there is a need of another one, that is Atma. So yada atma prayatnah jadahankaro va asti tada tu idam vaikarikam gnanam prakriti prakruta व्यतिरिक्तुम जीव परमात्म स्वरूपम कदानु विशदम दृश्यते इत्यातः येषामिति. So atma anuvartate yadesham prakriti प्राकृतानाम उपरामः अत्यंतोच्छेदन लक्षण मुक्ति तथा स्वानुभूत्य स्वरूप ज्ञानेन आत्मा जीवः आद्यः आत्मा परमात्मा च ज्ञायते इति शेषः कीदृशः. Ultimately there is a need of, there is one more independent thing, that is jivatma and paramatma is needed. So how swanubhutya kila siddha siddhidah, what it mean? So as an illumination of his own transcendental experience as the ultimate source of manifestation of all mutually manifesting objects. This Atma is a Swayam Prakashakaha and Paramatma also. But this Atma is also dependent on Paramatma actually. So ultimately that's why the supremely Swayam Prakashakaha, self-illuminating object is Paramatma. So like this, there is a, ultimately here we are considering everything as a Purusha. That means you can see difference between the Atma and Paramatma also. Sometimes some sages may not see. So ultimately consider this everything as a Purusha. So that means Purusha is independent, like sun is there outside of these three. So similarly, Purusha is outside and Uchi who is independent, and this is Prakriti. These three are known as Prakriti. So they are all interdependent and also they are dependent on the Purusha. So like this, we can see the difference between the Atma and, sorry, Prakriti and Purusha. So this is said here. Next sloka.
So that means this Prakriti
Ah.
also it has the three functions.
Yeah.
Okay. Adhyatma, Adhyatma, Adibhutika.
Yes.
These three are the manifestation of the Prakriti.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
And but this Prakriti alone cannot perform any actions
It cannot.
without the help of the Jivatma Paramatma.
Yeah. The production is what they.
To see object.
Yeah. That means producing the knowledge. That means this is marker. This kind of knowledge, gnanam should happen. So for that, it needs the, only these three are not sufficient. So there is a need of one more thing. That means here it is said Krishna aparaha yaha adyaha. That means there is another one who is beginning of everything. So that is the Purusha. That is nothing but Atma.
That means Apara could be Jivatma or
Paramatma. Both we can. Because here here main discussion is difference between Prakriti and Purusha. This much only we want to establish. But if we see in the second canto, the 10th chapter, there we want to even show the difference between Atma and Paramatma also. Even Atma is also not fully independent. So it is also dependent. So because we want to establish their Ashray Tattvam. That means there we have the Atra Sargo Visargasya Sthanam Poshanamotaya. So there Ashray Tattvam to establish. So Sukadeva Goswami used this concept only. So there he showed that Paramatma is only the ultimately so independent object, and he is only the Ashray Tattva. Because someone is dependent on someone, he cannot be a shelter for others. He cannot be ultimate shelter for others. Who can be the shelter for ultimately everyone? So that is the one who is completely independent. So that's the point there. Swashraya, who is self-dependent and who is shelter for all others. Swashraya means who depends upon himself, and Ashraya, Ashraya for all others. Some more things are there. Okay. Next 32nd. Evam tvagadi shravanadi chakshur jihvadi nasadi cha chitta yuktam.
Similarly, the sense organs, namely the skin, ears, eyes, tongue, and nose, as well as the functions of the subtle body, namely conditioned consciousness, mind, intelligence, and false ego, can all be analyzed in terms of the threefold distinction of sense, object of perception, and presiding deity.
So actually, when you can know this Atma completely is independent and different from all these when we get the moksha, mukti. So that is a point, one point I didn't mention. That means Swanubhutya kila siddha siddhidaha. Swanubhutya means Swarupa Gnanena Atma. So Adhya Jiva Atma Jivaha Adhya Atma Paramatma cha Gnayate iti. Means one can know himself when he got liberated from all this Prakriti. Prakritanam Uparamaha. When these are all ceased. So then ultimately Atma is remaining. That is known as so moksha actually. So in the liberated stage, so one can see. So that's why one can understand himself. So he is Atma and also Paramatma. That is the point I should mention there. Yeah.
Unless until one reach to the stage of liberation,
Yeah.
mukta.
No, one cannot know the Atma.
One
Otherwise, he will be knowing that everything is mixed. That means he cannot differentiate Atma and Prakriti, Prakriti and Purusha. He cannot differentiate. To differentiate Prakriti and Paramatma, Prakriti and the Atma, need to get the liberation. That means ceasing of these things should happen. So then,
that means he should be free from this all kind of upadhis.
Yes, yes. So, so in the 32nd sloka, in 31st we have seen the first set. What is that? Eyes, Chakshu, and Adhisthana Devata is the Surya Amsha. That's a part of the Amsha of the Surya. And Rupam is the Adibhutam. Like this, you can find the, for others also, for other senses. For the skin, Twag. So for the Twag, what is that? It is Vishwanath is giving. Anu also Nana Vikaramaya Prakrutah Prapancha Satyah Mityava Vadina. ननोसो नाना विकारमयः प्राकृतः प्रपञ्चः सत्यः मिथ्यावादिनां मतवैविध्यात् निश्चितुम् अशक्यत्वात् पृच्छ्यते इत्याशङ्क्य इत्याकांक्षायाम् अनुवादपूर्वकम् योऽसौ. अरे इसमें तो है नहीं कहा ये जीव गोस्वामी नहीं, ये विश्वनाथ जी. अच्छा अच्छा नीचे दिए एवं इति. ओके. चक्षुर्दर्शितम त्रैविध्यम इंद्रियांतरेषु अपि. that means these three, that means three are set. Adidaivam, Adibhutam, Adhyatmam. For Chakshu, Chakshu is Adidaivam, Adhyatmam. So their controlling deity, that's Surya, is the Adidaivam, and Rupam is the Adibhutam. Similarly, you should find the for the other senses also. For the skin, Tvak, Sparshah and Vayu. Vayu Devata. Yes. Yeah. Sparsha is a Vishay. Adibhutam. Adibhutam is a Sparsha. Tvak is the Adhyatmam. Vayu who is the Adi Daivam. Next, for Shravanam. Shravanam. Shabdah. So Shravanam, Shabdah. Shabdah is the Adibhutam. And Shravanam, that means Srotra, that means ears, is the Adidaivam, sorry, Adhyatmam, and Dishi. Disha, for Disha is the, direction. Yes, yes. Next, Juhva Rasaha Varunaha. Next, Nasadi, Nose, Gandhaha and Ashwini Kumar. So next, Chitta Yuktam, Chitta Adicha, Chittam Chetayu Vasudevaha. Okay, like this. The other three sets, these three things for other senses is given here. Next, we will go to the next sloka. येषौ गुणक्षोभकृतो विकारः प्रधानमूलान्महतः प्रसूतः अहं त्युन्मोहविकल्पहेतु वैकारिकस्तामस ऐन्द्रियश्च.
When the three modes of nature are agitated, the resultant transformation appears as the element false ego in three phases: goodness, passion, and ignorance, generated from the Mahat Tattva, which is itself produced from the unmanifest Pradhana. This false ego becomes the cause of all material illusion and duality.
Ah. So गुणक्षोभकृतः विकारः प्रधानमूलात् महतः प्रसूतः aham trivrit moha vikalpa heturvaikarihi tamasa indriyascha. So what is said here? Here tamasa hankaropi vikalpa hetur iti suchitam puraha purastat tad idanim spashtayati. If you see in the previous sloka, vaikarika vikalpa 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 buddhischa. If you see the 30th sloka, ममांगमाया गुणमयी अनेकदा विकल्प बुद्धिश्च गुणैः विदत्ते वैकारिक स्त्रिविदो अध्यात्ममेकम अथादिदैवम अधिभूतमन्यत्. So like this, we have seen previously, this tamasika ahankara is the cause for the vikalpa. So now that is being explained here. यह असौ मोह विकल्प हेतु अज्ञानान्यथा ज्ञान हेतु विकारः सत्वादि गुणक्षोभः महत्तत्वं तेन कृतः सः अहंकारः त्रिवृत्त त्रिरूपत्वेन वर्तते त्रिः प्रकारमः वैकारी इति. So what is that? First of all, pradhana is there, and from there is a gunavetikaraha, that means vikaraha. When this pradhana is agitated, then what is coming from there? So mahat is coming. That mahat is cause for what? Is cause for the ahankara, and this ahankara is three types. So what is that three types? Vaikarikaha, tamasaha, aindriyaha. So utpatti hetuhu taijascha iti. So who is the cause for this? So production of this. So Rajoguna is the cause for from Mahat. These three ahankaras has to be produced. For that, what is needed? So Rajoguna is needed. That is the point. Production comes always from where? From Rajas. That's the point here. So Utpatti hetu. Aindriyotpatti hetuhu taijasascha iti. So that's why Aindriyaha means Taijasaha. That means all the senses are coming from Ucha Hankara, Rajasika Hankara. So that is a Taijasa Hankara, which is also cause for the Utpatti. Or Moha Vikalpa Hetu, who is that? That is Tamoguna, Tamasika Hankara. Vikalpa Hetu is Tamasika Hankara. Our Utpatti Hetu is Taidasam. That means Rajasika. Our Gnana Hetu, who is Gnana Hetu? That's a Vaikarika, Sattva. Anyway, so that means from Pradhana, Mahat is coming, and from that Mahat, Ahankara is coming. That Ahankara is three types. Those are Vaikarika, Tamasa, Indriya. So like this. Jagataha Prasu. What is the use of all these Ahankaras? Jagataha Prasuti Srushtihi Yasmasa. That means whole creation is done by, so these three Ahankaras only. From these three Ahankaras, we are getting the, so Pancha Tanmatras, Pancha Mahabhutas, Pancha Gnanendriya, Pancha Karmendriya, next Mana and Indriya Adhisthana Devatas. All are coming from these only. Okay, this is said here. Next, 34. आत्मा आत्मा परिज्ञानमयो विवादो ह्यस्तीति नास्तीति विदार्थनिष्ठः व्यर्थोऽपि नैवो परमेत पुंसां मत्तः परावृत्तधियां स्वलोकात्.
The speculative argument of philosophers, this world is real. No, it is not real. Is based upon incomplete knowledge of the Supreme Soul and is simply aimed at understanding material dualities. Although such argument is useless, person who have turned their attention away from me, their own true self, are unable to give it up.
It is important sloka. We have seen this in where we have seen Bhakti Sandarbha beginning. Sa kutah nivartate. That means we said ahankara is the cause for creation. Yes, we said in the previous sloka, which is coming from the Mahat. That is ahankara is 3 types. Yes. So now how to finish this ahankara? Sa kutah nivartate. How this ahankara is seized? Kutah nivartate. How? Atma gnana velasitatvat tasgnanena ityashenaha. Just how to seize the ahankara? Previously we have seen. Just, wow. माइक 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 बहुत अच्छा बोल रहे हैं एक्चुअली रिकॉर्ड तो होने दीजिए.
Hare Krishna. So every day we are discussing about that only, the end moment.
Yes.
So how that first when he Gyani, he tried to understand that so many things, so he cannot analyze proper, and he went to Guru. And Guru, he show him that you forgot about everything, which is you are seeing, that is nothing but only Brahman. So you just focus on that one. So actually everything is one only, that Brahman, when he interact with Maya, then it is become the Brahman becomes so many things, like I mean he one become many.
Yeah,
So
one is seeing many because not seeing one because of influence of Maya.
So you just focus on one.
Yes.
So everything is nothing but one only.
Yes.
So and by the focusing only one, that whatever I am seeing, that is only nothing but Brahman.
Yeah.
Then by this one he cut off the ahankara.
Yeah, by this kind of knowledge. How he is getting this knowledge? From the Guru and studying the Shrutis, means
Shruti
Upanishads.
and logic, and
With logic.
yeah.
He is studying the Shruti with logic under Guru. So
yeah.
then he is getting this knowledge that everything is Brahman, and but because of the Maya we are not seeing the one, but we are seeing many. So like that he will understand this Gnanam. By this Gnanam he is cutting his Ahankara. Wow. Good.
It's all Guru and Krishna mercy.
So this is the way to cut the ahankara. Okay, so saha kutah nivartate, that means by atma gnanam. So that means by understanding oneself and also understanding Brahman, one is able to so cut this ahankara. Keeping that intention, this sloka is said by the Krishna. So keeping that intention, he is saying what he is saying, you see, very important thing. Atma parignanamaya. Atma is completely what? Vijnanamaya or not? Is a full of knowledge. Atma is full of knowledge. But what? There is a problem is there for still. Of course, Atma is full of knowledge. But there is a problem. Satchitanandaha. Satyam Gnanam Anantam. Vijnanam Anandam Brahma. It's a Gnanamayam. Atma is Gnanamayam. Atma is Gnanamayam. Atma Gnanamayam. Sa kutah nivartate Atma Gnana Velasitatvat tas Gnane. Atma is full of knowledge. Tas Gnane. By getting this knowledge. By this knowledge. Not getting. It itself is a Gnanamayam. Tas Gnanena. That means by that Gnana only. That means knowing itself as I am full of knowledge. So one is able to cut that ahankara. So with this intention, so Krishna is said, Atma Parignanamaya. Atma Parignanamaya. Of course, Atma is Parignanamaya, fir bhi, but still Vivadaha. There is a fight. What is that fight? Asti iti, nasti iti. Hai, nahi hai. This kind of fighting is there. So nanu katam mohamaya. That means if Atma is completely full of knowledge, why it is having the illusion? Nanu kadam mohamayatvam vikalpasya ahankarasya va kaschit satyatvaangikarat vikalpasya va kaschit satyatvaangikarat tatra aha. That means this is Atma and this is ahankara. Some people, what they do? This is vikalpa mayaha. That means because of this ahankara only, what is happening? You are seeing the many. Because of this ahankara only. If this ahankara is not there, only Atma is there, then it will see it itself. It will never see all other things. This ahankara is cut down, then what will happen? So one Atma is able to see itself. Only one. But now because of this ahankara, this Atma is seeing many. So this, but someone, kaschit means someone is understanding or illusion. That means because of illusion, this ahankara is what? Vikalpasya ahankarasya kaschit satyatvaangikara. That means he is understanding ahankara as satyam, as real. So he himself is Gnanamayam because of the moha, because of the some influence of the Maya, he is understanding ahankara is satyam. That means what it means? He is understanding himself as body or belong to this, that, and that he is fully accepting, and he is taking it as a truth, real. Then what will happen? Then there is vivadaha. Then there is a fighting. Vivadaha. What is that vivadaha? Ayam vivadaho. Vivadaha api atma parignanamaya iti anvayah. So yadva vivadaha sarvopi vedardha nishtah eva natu vastu matra nishtah. Ataha parasparam yuktibhi eva vedasya निराकृतत्वात् मोहमयत्वं सिद्धम् इति. ननु यदि अहंकारः विकल्पश्च नास्ति अलम तर्हि तन्निवृत्ति प्रयासेन तत्राह व्यर्थोपि इति. So then there is a vivadaha. This vivada is centered in what? Vidardha nishtaha. It is Vidardha nishtaha. Vidardha nishtaha means this fighting. So like these two people are there who are accepting ahankara as satyam. That means real. Then those two people, if they come together, then they will be fighting. There is a contradiction of each other's opinion. He will say this is, and he will say that is. He will say this is some opinion he expressed, because everyone seeing many, and then there is many opinions, and there is a difference, and that difference is cause for the. So that means he always tries always he tries his point and tries to, whatever opposite person is differing from him, that difference he tries to reject. You should also accept me. And opposite person also same. So whatever that means, I am differing with him, that much he wants to cut down and try to so ask, force me also to accept his point. This kind of vivadaha, vidardhanishta vivada, who are accepting ahankara is satyam, not, of course he is gnanamaya, what. So this, then, and also he'll be using, both parties will be using the yukti. They are having yukti, that means some logic, they use some logic, so to cut the some others opinion. So nirakrutatvat mohamayatvam siddhati. So this kind of illusion actually keep on going. Atah parasparam yuktibhi eva, parasparam yuktibhi. So each other by logics, bhedasya nirakrutatvat, tries to, he cuts he whatever differing he is doing, so that difference he will be cutting, and similarly that person also cuts so his difference using the logic. So next siddham nanu yadi ahankarah vikalpascha, यदि अहंकारः विकल्पश्च नास्ति अलं तर्हि तन्निवृत्त प्रयासेन तत्र. So Purva Pakshi is saying, so if both are accepting same thing and there is no ahankara and both are accepting same thing, then what is said? That means trying to adjust each other and trying to become one. Then this is what? This kind of endeavor is no. अभी दुनिया में कोई भी दो लोगों in this whole world who are egoistic, that means who are accepting himself as a body, so even if they adjust so much, can they find the, that means completely agreement, complete agreement? No, never. It is what? This kind of adjustments is completely a vyarthaha. What is said? Vyarthaha. It is so vyarthaha api naiva uparameta. That means it will never come to the conclusion. Though two parties will never come to the conclusion. It's impossible. Never adjust. So now India and Russia, America, so many countries now aag lag gaya pura ekdam. That means there is a lot of, that means the discrepancies going on, differences are going on, and every country is trying to defend themselves and so make the parties and attacking others, and so many differences of opinions of each country. So can you adjust materially and so that everyone come to the one point? It's impossible. Everyone is having their own, that means agenda, and they are desiring this. I want this island. China says, Russia says, I also want that same island. Japan says, I want. And there is a problem with Taiwan. There is a problem with India and Ladakh with China. So many. And America. And also having a problem with the other, so Russia, with the problem with Russia. So everyone is having their own agendas. This bidartha, this difference, can you remove out this difference of opinions of all these people and can you make one? So by the just negotiations and by no, na eva uparameta pumsam vyarthaha. That means you cannot suppress their ahankara and you cannot so bring this vikalpa, this difference, you cannot make it zero. It's impossible. So vyarthaha bahir, that means, so that means in that means whoever is, in whose case this will not ever end, in whose case paravritta dhyam means those jivatmas who are having the aversion towards the Lord, bahirmukhanam, aversion, those jivatmas who are not turned towards the Lord and who are completely accepting ahankara as satyam, and those kind of jivatmas will never come to the one conclusion. This is impossible. But when they all turn towards the Lord, then they can come to the one conclusion. So that means all the, in the spiritual platform, so by turning towards the Krishna, they can all come to the one conclusion. Bairmukana naiva uparametat pratyuta tatkritaihi karmabhi ucha nicha deheshu che te samsaranti. So what they will happen? So since they are not turning towards the Lord, simply they have following their own ahankara, and because of this they have maintaining the difference with others, and for that, so there is no ending for that difference and that fighting. So then because of this, being influenced by this ahankara, this jivatma is getting the various kinds of the bodies again and again, life after life, life after life. So but when it will finish, when this jivatma turn towards the Lord, then it will come out from the ahankara, and then those kind of jivatmas who turn towards the Lord and destroyed the ahankara, then there is no fighting. There is no fighting. There is no vidartha. There is no vivada. Devotees are fighting means they are in Maya. That is it. FDG, this DG, that DG. Who are not turned towards the Lord, not doing the accepting the Krishna. So that's why this UN, United Nations, these that bogus meetings. Until unless if you don't preach the Krishna consciousness, there is no world peace. Impossible.
Said that for them it is not possible to convince, to
Yeah.
adjust.
Come
So
to one
how
conclusion.
about then now the Hare Krishna movement in Kali Yuga, for Hare Krishna Mahamantra, for Sankirtan also not possible?
No, Sankirtan possible, because this is not possible. That means come to one conclusion till what? Paravarta dhyam. That means when they are away from the Lord. If they all turn towards the Lord, then possible. Condition is there. Paravarta dhyam. This fighting, this difference will be never ceasing. So until unless they are not turning towards the Lord. If they turn towards the Lord, then finish. Got it? Next. So Srila Sridhar Jiva Goswami also is little bit speaking. So sohankara kena nivartate uchyate bhayam ditya viniveshita syadishada pesasya. So this is the fundamental sloka. Actually, you all remember. This is the, so why the people are having the difference? Because of ishada petasya. They are turning away from the Lord. They are going away from the Lord. That's why they are captured by the Maya, and Maya is covering their Swarupa Gnanam by the avidya. Then after that, it is giving the body. That means then it is getting the viparita gnanam. Then after that, it is getting the entering into the dualities, and then after that, it is getting fear. So this is a process. That means the jiva, whichever is away from the Lord, he is in the clutches of the Maya, and he is taking that ahankara is satyam. Jiva Goswami is giving who consider ahankara is real. So that is Hisha the Petasya, who are away from the Lord. So that's why with such a people's fighting will never come to end. But when they turn towards the Lord, then there is finishing. Yeah. Next sloka. 36, 35 and 36. Sri Uddhava Uvacha Tattah Paravritta Diyae Swakrutai Karma Bih Prabho Uchavachan Yatha Dehan Gruhnanti Visrujanti Cha Tanmamakya hi Govinda Durvibhavyamanatmabhi Nahyetat Prayasho Loke Vidvamsa Santi Vanchita. पढ़ो। बाप रे, इतना प्यास लग रहा है.
Translation. Sri Uddhava said, O Supreme Master, the intelligence of those dedicated to fruitive activities is certainly the deviate from you. Please explain to me how such person accept superior and inferior the bodies by their materialistic activities and then give up such bodies. O Govinda, this topic is very difficult for foolish person to understand. Being cheated by illusion in this world, they generally do not become aware of this fact.
Okay. So in the last look, what Krishna is saying, whoever turning away from me, those people have the problem of sahankara, and so there is never ending. So now Uddhava is asking, okay, whoever is turning away from you, so then what happened? They will be doing the various karma, and they will be getting the different kinds of the higher and lower bodies again and again. So tell us, what are those bodies? Tan mama akyahi, tan mama akyahi Govinda. So you please tell those. Oh Govinda, this topic is very difficult for foolish persons to understand. Being cheated by illusion in this world, they generally don't become aware of these facts. Durvibhavyam Durvyabhavya manatmabhi na hyetat prayashah loke vidvanso santi vanchitaha. So please explain me how such persons accept superior and inferior bodies. Actually, he's asking, they will accept this. That means whoever is trapped by this ahankara, they will be getting the lower and higher bodies. So how they are getting that, he is asking. That means how the Jivatma is leaving this body and so getting the new body. This process he wants. He wants to know. Acha. So generally, most of the people, they don't know this fact, and so even they are so-called scholars, and they are always getting the again and again birth and death. So we'll go to the next. 37. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Manah Karmamayam Runam Indriyeh Panchabhiryutam Lokalokam Pratyatyanya Pratyatyanya Atma Tadanu Vartate.
Lord Krishna said, the material mind of man is shaped by the reactions of fruitive work. Along with the five senses, it travels from one body, material body to another. The spirit soul, all the different from this mind, follows it.
Yeah. So Manah Karmamayam Runam Indriyehi Panchabhihi Yutam. Manasastani Indriyani. So Prakritani Prakriti, what is that? Sastani Indriyani Karshanti. So these six, when we leave this body, how many things are carried out? Mind and also subtle senses. These all senses also go. We think that the only mind is going, but Sastani Indriyani, all Indriyas also they go. Small subtle senses also they go. Now this is gross body, this is not really going, but the subtle. Yeah, Adhyatma will go, yes. Manah karmamayam runam indriyaihi panchabhihi yutam lokat lokam pratyatyanya. Pratyati means travels. Mind travels from one loka to another loka along with all these five senses. So Atma tadanuvartate, and Atma is following this mind. So mind is going with the five senses, one place to another place, one loka to another loka, and Atma is following the mind. This is a funda he is saying. Manaha. So Manaha Pradhanam Sukshma Sariram Eva Lokat Lokantaram Yati. So Sukshma Sariram, subtle body, that is mind is prominent in that subtle body. Is going from one loka to another loka. So karma dhinam. So Atma Jivaha Anyaha Tataha Binnaha Api Tad upahitatvadev. Why mind? Why Atma is also going along with the mind? Because Atma is upahitam and mind is upadhi. Upadhi, upahitam. You know this? We discussed very long back. So this is covered by this. Whatever is covering, that is known as upadhi. And whatever is covered is known as upahitam. So who is upahitam here? Atma is upahitam and mind is upadhi. When this is going, then automatically upahitam, that is Atma, is also going. Okay, that's the point he said. Uddhava is asking that only, na? So how? So Jivatma is going from one body to another body. So this process he wants. So then Krishna is saying that. So this is going means what? Who is going? Mind is going along with its senses. So then Atma is also, soul is also following that mind, because Atma is upahitam. Next, dhyayan manonu vishayan dushtan vanusrutanatha udyata sedata karma tantram smritistadanusamyati.
The mind, bound to the reaction of fruitive work, always meditate on the object of the senses, both those that are seen in this world and those that are heard about from Vedic authority. Consequently, the mind appears to come into being and to suffer annihilation along with its object of perception, and thus its ability to distinguish past and future is lost.
Mind is going from one body to another body, na? One loka to another loka. So how it is going? So nano manasah api purva deha viyogaha dehantara yogascha katam bhavati iti chet. Okay, mind is leaving this body and entering into the another body. How this is happening? So this, and along with mind, so Atma is also going. But mind, how it is going? From here, this body to that body. So katam bhavati chet smruti viyoga yoga bhyam, by the remembrance and forgetfulness. हाँ, बंद करिए. ओके, कितना आ गया? आ जाएगा, आ जाएगा. नहीं आ रहा है, सिग्नल पकड़ नहीं रहे. इसको बंद करिए ना. क्या कर रहे हैं भाई इतना समय? और डोर लगाओ थोड़ा सा. वो भी लगाओ, आधा लगा के क्या फायदा? तो ठीक है. Manah karmamayam runa. Sorry. So how this mind is going from one body to another body, leaving another body and entering into the another body. Leaving one body and entering into another body. How katam bhavati iti chet smriti viyoga yogabhyam iti vaktum tayoh karanamah dhyayata iti. Because of remembrance and because of forgetfulness. So this is happening. So that is being explained here. Karma tantratvat karmopasthapitan dushtan va anusrutan vedoktan vishayan anudhyayet atha anantaram ध्यायमानेषु उद्यद आविर्भवत् पूर्वविषयेषु च उद्यदाविर्भवत् पूर्वविषयेषु च सीदल्लीयमानं भवति तदनन्तरं तस्य स्मृतिः पूर्वापर अनुसंधानं नश्यति. स्मृति वियोगः योगः. कैसा जाएगा माइंड? काम नहीं कर रहे? चलो छोड़ दो उसको, सब इधर घर में रखिए. प्रभु एक पेन दीजिए थोड़ा सा. अतुल बाबू. हाँ अरे छोड़ो यार, वो तो काम नहीं करते तो क्या करना है अभी. इधर देखो, वो लेके आओ तो पूरा उसको ला के इधर रख दीजिए. मनः mind. What is the question? How mind travel from one body to another body? अच्छा. How? So it is because of smriti viyoga yoga. Viyoga yoga. What it mean? By forgetting something and by remembering another thing. What it mean? So if mind is going from this body, so it will forget about this body, and while leaving, whatever it remembers, yam yam vapi smaran bhava, whatever it is remembering while leaving this body, it will reach to that. Once after reaching, it is forgetting this. So in this way, mind is going from one body to another body. So that means remembering the new one and forgetting the old one. This is the way mind goes from one body to another body. Dhyayan mano no vishayan. That means mind is remembering, meditating at the time of death. So maybe good or bad. Dustan va Srutan, Anusrutan. That means Anusrutan means from the Shastra. So one may be remembering the pleasure in the Swarga. So then mind is remembering that pleasure in the Swarga. Then so it will go there. If it is, why not? Whatever you remember, yam bhavi smaran bhavam. At the time of death, whatever you remember, you will reach that. But it may not be easy. That means without having that kind of karma, then it's not easy to remember the Swarga. So if it is able to remember, then it will go. So whatever that means, sometimes if it is very, that means did the bad activities, then that person, then his mind will be remembering the bad things, then it will go into that bad. So that's why Smriti yoga. This is the thing. That means remembering and forgetting. So whatever it remembers, there it will go. And after going there, it will forget present body. Anusandhana is finished. Connection is finished. Okay, next sloka. 39. विषयाभिनिवेशेन नात्मानं यत्स्मरेत् पुनः जन्तोर्वै कस्यचित् येतोर्मृत्युरत्यन्ता विस्मृतिः.
When the living entity passes from the present body to the next body, which is created by his own karma, he becomes absorbed in the pleasurable and painful sensation of new body and completely forget the experience of the previous body. This total forgetfulness of one's previous material identity, which comes about for one reason or another, is called death.
Tatah kim atah aha. After that, what? That means it entered, it is remembering the new body and it entered there. Then after that, what happened? Kim ataha, tatah kim. After that, what? Ataha aha. That's why this sloka is said. Vishayeti. Karmopasthapita devadi dehatyantabhinivesanatmanam purvadeham punar mano na smared iti yat sa eva yatana dehabhiniveshena vayashokadehi devadi dehabhiniveshena va harshatarshadehe hetoh पूर्वदेहस्य विस्मृतिर अहंकार निवृत्तिः तद अभिमानिनः जन्तोः जीवस्य मृत्युरुच्यते न तु देहवन्नाशः. What is the death is being explained. So when this mind is leaving this body and entering into this, what happens? So after entering into this body may be is filled with the full of miseries, yatana deha. This body can be the yatana deha. For example, human beings are living. This can be the yatana deham or otherwise. So bhoga deha. Heavenly body means what he gave? Harshata. So bhoga deha. Heavenly body. So then what happened? If it get the yatana deha, so this body, after going there, a lot of soka moha, completely. So pain, bhaya shoka dehe, because of severe pain and pain and so fear. What will happen? This mind is forgetting the previous body, and also. So ahankara is, that means subtle body contains the ahankara also. So then what will happen? The connection with this body is removed. Till now, this mind along with the ahankara, mind and ahankara, they are so anusandhana, they are correlating, they are connecting itself with this body till now. After death, it entered into another body. So then same ahankara is there and same mind is there or not? But now there is no connection with this body. This is cut because of this severe pain and fear. So this ahankara now is not so correlating with this body, is not connecting with this body, is not identifying with this body, but this new one. Then this is known as death. Otherwise, sometimes what will happen? This mind may enter into the bhoga deha. Then there is too much pleasure and happiness. Because of this, so what will happen? So this ahankara is forgetting to this ahankara is forgetting to correlate, connect with this previous body, and it started connecting with this present. And like this, that is also known as death. Actually, this is death. Not death means not the destruction of the old body. No, it's not death. This death means so disconnecting. Ahankara is disconnecting itself from the previous body. That is known as death. That means this ahankara is not entering into this body, but entering into this. Jantoho jivasya mrutyuruchyate. This is known as mrityu. Natu dehavat nashaha. Not the destruction of the body. Next, okay. 40. Janmatvatmataya pumsaha sarva bhavena bhurida vishaya swikrutim prahur yatha swapna manoratah.
O most charitable Uddhava, what is called birth is simply a person's total identification with a new body. One accepts a new body just as one completely accepts the experience of a dream or a fantasy as a reality.
So what is birth is explained. Janmatu vishayasya dehasya atmataya swikrutam abhimanam prahur natu dehavat उत्पत्तिः न च पुत्रादि देहवत् प्रीत्यातिशय मात्रेण किंतु श्रीधर सर्वभावेन अभेदेन अभिमान मात्रेण उत्पत्ति मरणयोः दृष्टान्तद्वयम्. So यथा स्वप्न मनोरथश्च इत्यर्थः. So what is the birth? Identifying, that means this ego is connecting or identifying itself with this body, is known as utpatti or janma, not the production of this body. Production of the body is not known as is not known as birth. The most charitable Uddhava, what is called birth is simply a person's total identification with the new body. One accepts new body just as one completely accept the experience of a dream or a fantasy as a reality. It's like in the dream, you are getting the tiger body and you are identifying yourself as a tiger. Then your birth is there and you forgot this body. Tirumala, why you have to worry about the death and life? Every day you are getting the new body. Just people are simply, you are getting the everyday death and everyday birth. Even this body is changing every minute. You are identifying with the new body every minute and leaving the old body. Childhood body is there with you till now. Yesterday's body is with you today. No. Is there? So, you're understanding Dhritatma, bro. Body is changing every minute. Body is changing, but not you are changing. Na. You are not changing. Na. The logic failed. So that's why every minute there is a birth and death. Okay, bas. Yatha swapnascha manorathascha ityartha. So two examples are given. Like swapna, one accepts a new body just as one completely accepts the experience of a dream. The manoratha, that means you are so fantasy, that means imagining something. I am the king and imagining that and entering and in that thing and you are doing something, speculating. This is also manoratha. These two are examples. So examples to explain this birth and death. So that is also, yeah, same thing. Only thing is, in the dream you will be there for maximum of 5 to 10 hours or 6 hours, 7 hours. In this body you will be there for another 60, 70 years. That's all. So nothing difference. In the dream also, whatever objects you are possessing at that time, you have to leave. Same way, while presenting in this body, whatever the objects you are possessing, all those you have to leave one day. And when you get the Atma Gnanam, it is simply a dream. This really dream at that time. This body is. Even so, if you get the new body, then all old connections are finished. Old bank balance is out. Everything. Old friends, relatives, wife, mother, father, lover, everything gone. Koi nahi hai. That is a night time. That's dream is for the 4 hours or 5 hours. It is for the 60 years. Why we have to worry about this? Next. Swapnam manoratham chetam praktanam nasmarantyasau tatra purvamivatmanam apurvam chanupashyati.
Just as a person experiencing a dream or daydream doesn't remember his previous dream or daydream, a person seated in his present body, although having existed period to it, thinks that he has only recently come into being.
Just a person experiencing a dream or a daydream, that is manoratha is known as daydream, doesn't remember his previous dreams or daydreams. A person situated in his present body, so similarly, most of the cases, 99%, so people they don't remember the previous body, although having existed prior to it, thinks that he has only recent come into being. So this, like sometimes you remember the dreams also, like that. Sometimes you may remember you. So at the age of 10 years old, for 10 year 5 months, 9 days of age, on the morning, what sabji you ate? Can you remember? No. Sometimes you may say, on the your 10th birthday, what you ate? You may remember. So that's why it is possible. Sometimes we may remember, sometimes we may forget. Like that, any incident, sometimes we may remember and we may forget. Similarly, sometimes we may remember past life also. Many, that is very rare. That is very rare. Next, Nityadahyanga bhutani bhavanti na bhavanti cha. Acha, 42. Indriyana srushtyeda traividyam bhati vastuni bahirantar vidahetur jano sajjana krudyatha.
Because the mind, which is the resting place of the senses, has created the identification with a new body. The threefold material variety of high, middle, and low class appears as if present within the reality of the soul. Thus, the self creates external and internal duality, just as a man might give birth to a bad son.
Yeah. So Indriyayana Srishtya idam. So Traividyam bhati vastvani. Bahirantar vidahetur jano asat janakrut yatha. So because the mind, which is the resting place of the senses, has created the identification with the new body, the threefold material variety of high, middle, and low appears as if present within the reality of the soul. Thus, the self creates external and internal duality, just as a man might give birth to a bad person. Upasamharati indriyanamayanam manaha tasya dehantarabhiniveshena ya srishtirutpattihi taya vastunyatmani tad abhimanena idam traividyam uttamam madhyamam neechatvam asad eva bhati anvayah. So that means when this Jivatma, so that means mind is entering into the another body, so that is nothing but the birth, and it is identifying with that body. So then it is also getting the feeling of best, middle, and slowest. Is this kind of feeling it is getting. Evam bhuta atma bahyabhyantara beda hetuscha bhavati. बाह्य विषयान अंतरान सुखादींश्च पश्यति इत्यर्थः. यथा जनः जीवः स्वप्ने बहून् असतः जनान् देहान् कुर्वन् पश्यन् बहुरूपः भाति तद्वत्. So like in the dream also we will be seeing the lot of bodies are created, and so we are seeing the lot of things are happening. So similarly this Atma is also, that means through mind it is going to the different bodies and also creating the different so feelings actually. So ucha nicha avacha, nicha avacheshu, that means higher and lower bodies. You simply actually see what is that point. So because of entering into that body, it started identifying with that body and feeling sometimes I am king, sometimes I am the poor, like that. So this kind of bheda is created. Next, nityadahyanga bhutani bhavanti na bhavanti cha kalena laksha vegena sukshmatvat tanna drishyate.
My dear Uddhava, material bodies are constantly undergoing creation and destruction by the force of time, whose sweetness is imperceptible. But because of subtle nature of time, no one sees these.
So, my dear Uddhava, material bodies are constantly undergoing creation and destruction of by the force of time. This body, this material body is not permanent. So that's why mind has to leave that body along with the soul. So whose swiftness is imperceptible. But because of the subtle nature of the time, no one sees this. So that means tadevam loka prasiddhau janma mrityu nirupya sukshmau apruštau api tau vairagyaya nirupati. So what are those? Nityada pratikshanam bhutani sarirani utpadyante nashyanti cha. That means every minute so many bodies are created and destroyed. Why he is saying these things? Even he didn't ask Uddhava, but Krishna is saying to produce. So vairagyam, that means detachment. So that's why he is explaining. These bodies are not permanent. Mind is entering into the bodies. But are those bodies are the permanent? They are not permanent. Kalasya ati sukshmatvat. That means time is so subtle and it is so functioning very invisibly, and it is destroying the things. Tatkrutam bhavanam abhavanam va avivekavir na lakshate. So that's why people are not able to see the time. Time is the destroyer of everything and very subtle, and it is functioning on every minute and keep on destroying the body and finishing. But people are not able to see that. यथार्चिषां स्रोतसां च फलानां वा वनस्पते तथैव सर्वभूतानां वयोवस्थादयः कृतः. The different stages of transformation of all material bodies occur just like those of the flame of a candle, the current of a river, or fruits of a tree. These are the different transformations. Like the flame, so it rages, sometimes goes down, rages, like that. And also rivers, sometimes they become very big and sometimes very narrow and broad, narrow, broad, and are the fruits of the tree. So like this, so the bodies occur just like different kinds of the bodies keep on getting. Satoho janma maranayoho gnane karanam etad bhavet. Satvameva tayoho कृत इत्याशंक्य अनुमानेन साधयति यथेति अर्चिषां परिणाम आदिभिः स्रोतसां गत्यादिभिः फलानां रूपादिभिः. That means fruits, sometimes in the tree nice fruits, big fruits, sometimes small fruits. And that river also, some places it is very fast and some places it is very slow. And also this flame, sometimes expanded and sometimes very narrow flame, small flame. So like this, sometimes we get the good bodies, sometimes we get the So lower bodies. Soyam deepochisham yadvat srotasam tadidam jalam. Soyam pumaniti nrunam mrusha girdir mrusha yusham. Although the illumination of a lamp consists of innumerable rays of light undergoing constant creation, transformation, and destruction, a person with illusory intelligence who sees the light for a moment will speak falsely, saying, "This is the light of the lamp." As one observes a flowing river, ever never water passes by and goes far away. At a foolish person observing one point in the river falsely states, "This is the water of a river." Similarly, although the material body of a human being is constantly undergoing transformation, those who are simply wasting their lives falsely think and say that each particular stage of body is the person's real identity. What example he is giving? So, what is that first example? Flame is going high and low. There is innumerable rays are coming from him. It change in the flame, but still people what they say? This is the light of lamp. Water is keep on flowing in the river, but still people say that this whatever water you saw that is there. No, new water is coming, but still you say that it is the. So this is the water of the river. So that means what you saw that water, you are thinking that that is there only, and you are identifying that river with that water. But that water is gone already. That is not there. So similarly, this body is every minute is changing, but you are identifying yourself with this body, thinking that this is staying with you. Human being is constantly undergoing transformation. Those who are simply wasting their lives falsely think and say that each particular stage of body is the person's real identity. In the last minute, whatever body is there, that is not with you. Even if you identify yourself as a body, so whatever that means you are there in the last minute, that is not. Let us assume you are not identifying yourself as a soul. You are identifying yourself as a body. Okay. So, and next minute that body is changing. That means you are changing. But still you think that I am staying in this house and I gave so 10,000 rupees money to you as in a borrow. Who gave? Who gave to whom? So that body is not there. If you say you are Atma, then you don't have any connection with the money and this. And if you say body, what body gave to me? That body gave, that is not there now. And what body took? That body is previously it was there. It is not? No. Yes, Tirumala. It's very nice actually. Cheating करने के लिए. नेक्स्ट ओके हम लोग फिनिश कर देंगे अभी. अभी नेक्स्ट गेयर अभी इधर से कुछ है नहीं अभी. फटाफट हाफ एन आवर लोग. मा स्वस्य कर्म बीजेन जायते सोप्ययं पुमान् म्रियते वामरो भ्रांत्या यथाग्निर्धारु संयुतः. A person doesn't actually take birth out of the seed of past activities, nor being immortal does he die. So by illusion, the living being appears to be born and to die, just as fire in connection with firewood appears to begin and then ceases to exist. So he is explaining even further truths, actually, further truths. What he's saying? "45. ननु कथं देहाध्यासवतः पुंसः कर्म जन्म मरणानि सन्ति नान्यस्य इति व्यवस्था नहि घटते." घटस्य पुरुषभेदेन सत्वम असत्वम च इति न अग्नस्यापि वस्तुतः तद अभावात् इत्याह मा स्वस्य नैवात्मनः कर्मणा बीजभूतेन सोऽप्यग्नोऽपि पुमान् जायते म्रियते वा किम तु अयं भ्रान्त्या अजन्मापि जायते इत्यमरोऽपि म्रियते वा. So actually only this body is coming and going. So but people think that because of illusion I am dying and I am getting birth. So birthday celebrations they are doing. I don't know why they are doing birthday celebrations. To which birthday is simply bogus. Not brahmachari or any chari. What is this? No need to do any birthday celebration. Which body is coming and which body is going? I am not at all interested in these things. Another false illusion creating around us. So let us try to become servant of Krishna. Don't celebrate the appearance of this world. We can do for only gurus. That's all. क्या क्या कहाँ हासिल किए? What you achieved? If he wants to give, that's fine. इसका इतना प्रोपेगेंडा नहीं करना है. There is no need actually. It's another illusion. You have to remind him, and you are going to die very soon. So be serious and try to get the more Shraddha and become Ananya Bhakta. Celebrating happy birthday to you. Okay. Naishe Nisheka Garbha Janmani Balya Kaumara Yauvanam Vayo Madhyam Jaram Mrityur Ityavasta Stanornava. Impregnation, gestation, birth, infancy, childhood, youth, middle age, old age, and death are the 9 ages of the body. Different stages of the body are given here. Vyavastha, that's next. Yeta manoratami. Yeta manoratamairhanya syocha vachas tanu gunasangadu padatte kvachit kvachit jahati cha. Although the material body is different from the self, because of the ignorance due to material association, one falsely identifies oneself with the superior and inferior bodily conditions. Sometimes a fortunate person is able to give up such mental concoction. So that means they are falsely identifying themselves as body. So, and some people they leave that kind of identification. Atmanah pitru putrabhyam anumeyo bhavapyayo na bhavapyaya vastunam abhigno dvaya lakshanaha. By the death of one's father or grandfather, one can surmise one's own death, and by the birth of one's son, one can understand the condition of one's own birth. A person who thus realistically understands the creation and destruction of material bodies is no longer subject to these dualities. So दादाजी मर जा रहा है, बच्चा पैदा हो रहा है, तो देख के बुद्धि आना चाहिए. So our old grandfather is dying in front of us. Mother left. My dear mother left. And what should I do? So I will also leave one day. So one should realize this. My dear mother, this is fact. So that's why don't be attached to your sons and your husband. And don't attach to your body. Nothing is going to happen. Nobody is going to do anything. Everyone wants their own sense gratification. That's all. So that's why. So don't worry. Your wife is leaving. Don't worry. So everything is going out. Finish. Because Prabhupada also said, if something has happened, Then forget it and focus more on Krishna. That is the best thing. So Taror Vipakabhyam Yo Vidwan Janma Samyamo Taror Vilakshano Drashta Yevam Drashta Tano Pruta. One who observes the birth of a tree from its seeds and the ultimate death of the tree after maturity certainly remains a distinct observer separate from the tree. In the same way, the witness of the birth and death of the material body remains separate from it. So, pyar se, with love and care, you are keeping a seed. Mango tree came, it stayed for the 5 years, 10 years, gave the lot of fruits, it became old, and some storm came, and other big wind, it became old and gone. Similarly, this body is also taking birth and finishing. This is truth actually. This truth is different from that tree. Next. Prakrutereva atmanam avivichya buddha puman tatvena sparsha sammudaha samsaram pratipadyate. An unintelligent man, failing to distinguish himself from material nature, thinks nature to be real. By contact with it, he becomes completely bewildered and enters into the cycle of material existence. That means whoever is not seeing this truth, this body is temporary, and not seeing this truth, they are entering into the cycle of material existence. Again and again, they are so roaming in this. Sattva Sangha Drishin Devam Rajasa Manushan Tamasa Bhuti Tiryaktvam Brahmito Yati Karma Bihi, made to wonder because of his fruity work. The conditioned soul, by contact with the mode of goodness, takes birth among the sages or demigods. By contact with the mode of passion, he becomes a demon or a human being. And by association with the mode of ignorance, he takes birth as ghost or in the animal kingdom. There are the different bodies because of the influence of the modes. So people are getting the different kinds of the bodies. ये भी हो गया. हाँ, अच्छा इधर आ गए, ठीक है. नृत्यतो गायतः पश्यन् यतैवानुकरोति तान् एवं बुद्धिगुणान् पश्यन् निहोप्यनुकार्यते. Just as one may imitate persons whom one sees dancing and singing, similarly the soul, although never the doer of material activities, becomes captivated by material intelligence and is thus forced to imitate its qualities. Jivatma is like some boy is dancing and other boys also seeing his dance and they also started imitating. Like movie, someone is seeing the movie and that hero is dancing and people are so seeing that and they are also started imitating. So the same way, so this body is doing so many activities, so but Jivatma is seeing those and falsely imitating those. Part 55 and 55. यथाम्बसा प्रचलत तरवोपि चलायिवा चक्षुषा भ्राम्यमाणेन दृश्यते भ्रमतीव ब्रू यथा मनोरथधिया विषयानुभवो मृषा स्वप्नदृष्टाश्च दशार्ह तथा संसार आत्मनः. The soul's material life, his experience of sense gratification is actually false. O descendant of Dasharha, just like trees appears of curing when the trees are reflecting in agitated water, are like the earth's appearance of spinning due to once spinning his eyes around. are like the world of fantasy or dream. So he's explaining further. So if you just so close your eyes and that means spin yourself and open, then you'll be seeing that earth is also evolving. Like the same. So body is doing the activities, but Atma is thinking that it is also started. So feeling of those. This is simply false. The experience of the soul of this material world is false. Is completely false. अर्थे ह्यविद्यमानेऽपि संसृतिर्न निवर्तते ध्यायतो विषयानस्य स्वप्नेनर्थागमो यथा. For one who is meditating on sense gratification, material life, although lacking factual existence, doesn't go away, just as the unpleasant experience of a dream do not. Yeah. For one who is meditating on sense gratification, material life, although lacking factual existence, doesn't go away. So, but it is not fact, but still it will not go away. Just as unpleasant experience of a dream don't. Sometimes unpleasant experience, you may have seen a tiger in your dream. It may not go. So you may, after the waking up also, you may feel that. The same way, this experience, the soul is experiencing this material nature, material creation, so that may not go that much easily. तस्मादुद्धव मा भुङ्क्ष्व विषयान् सदिन्द्रियैः आत्मग्रहण निर्भातं पश्य वैकल्पिकं भ्रमम्. Therefore, O Uddhava, don't try to enjoy sense gratification with the material senses. See how illusion based on material dualities prevent one from realizing the self. My dear, don't go for sense gratification. Then there is a problem. क्षिप्तो अमानितो सद्भिः प्रलब्धो सूयितोऽथवा ताडितः सन्निरुद्धो वा वृत्त्या वा परिहापितः निष्ठयुक्तो मूत्रितो वाग्नैर्बहुदैवं प्रकम्पितः श्रेयस्कामः कृच्छ्रगता आत्मनात्मानमुद्धरेत्. Even though neglected, insulted, ridiculed, or envied by bad men, or even though repeatedly hesitated by being beaten, tied up, or deprived of one's occupation, spat upon, or polluted with the urine by ignorant people, one who desires the highest goal in life should, in spite of all these difficulties, use his intelligence to keep himself safe on the spiritual platform. Like Jadabarth, someone urinate on you, someone scold. Don't go for the materialistic ego. Don't try to establish yourself as a great man in this material world. It is simply illusion. So, एड़ा बन के पेड़ा खाओ, एड़ा बन के. So that's try to be. Maybe whole world may say you are a fool, but you be in fixed in your self-relation. Sri Uddhava uvacha yataivan buddhyeyam vadano vadatam vara. Sri Uddhava said, "O best of all speakers, please explain to me how I may properly understand this." Acha, Uddhava is trying to understand this, how to become Eda and eat peda. How to become Eda. So, Sudu Sahimimam Manya Atmanya Sadatikramam Vidushamapi Viswatman Prakrutirhi Baliyasi Rite Twadharmanitanratan Shantanste Charanalayan. O soul of the universe, the conditioning of one's personality in material life is very strong. And therefore, it is very difficult even for a learned man to tolerate the offenses committed against them by ignorant people. Only your devotees who are fixed in your loving service and who have achieved peace by residing at your lotus feet, are able to tolerate such offenses. So what Sridhar Swami is saying on this? So dharma niratan. This is the important thing. So who can tolerate this kind of things? Only devotees. Thus end the purports of the humble servants of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada to 11th canto, 22nd chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam entitled Enumeration of the Elements of Material Creation. Okay, next chapter. Next chapter. We have another 25 minutes. Okay, थोड़ा सा देख लेंगे क्या है. अभी तो तैयारी नहीं किया मैंने ये चैप्टर, लेकिन देखता हूँ. सिंपल चैप्टर. आई तो पूरा फिनिश कर दिया है. नहीं, कितना है? बोपरे 61. Today we'll do some 20 at least. Tomorrow 40 finish. एक मिनट में कमेंट्री ओपन करने दीजिए अपना. थर्ड चैप्टर. ओ ज्यादा कमेंट्री है नहीं, एकदम दौड़ा दो. हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. श्रीबादरायणिरुवाच स एवमाशंसित उद्धवेन भागवतमुखेन दशार्हमुख्यः सभाजयन् भृत्यवचो मुकुन्दस्तमभाभाषे श्रवणीयवीर्यः तमाबभाषे श्रवणीयवीर्यः. Translation. Sukadeva Goswami said, Lord Mukunda. So he is saying, Sukadeva Goswami is saying, Lord Mukunda, the chief of Dasharhas, having thus been respectfully requested by the best of his devotees, Sri Uddhava, first acknowledged the fitness of his servant's statements. Then the Lord, whose glorious exploits are most worthy of being heard, began to reply to him. So Uddhava very nicely was telling him who was able to bear that kind of insult from the ignorant people for the coming out from this material clutches. Only the people who are Tava Dharman. What is it? Tvad Dharman. Whoever is following your duties, your dharma. Your dharma means Bhagavad Dharma. So the devotees. Devotees only can tolerate this point, he said. So that's why Krishna is going to glorify him. Yes, you did good thing. Yes, that's the right understanding. So that he will be acknowledge him. Then after that, he will explain how to do that, how to tolerate those insults. So here Sridhar Swami is saying Bhavarati Deepika Trayo Vimshe Tiraskara Sahanopaya Iryate. Tiraskara Sahanopaya. That means the techniques to bear the insults from these ignorant people. Bhikshu Gita Prakarena Manasa Samyamodhiya. So Bhikshu Gita, Avanti Brahmans. Yeah, he is Avanti Brahman. So his teachings we'll be studying. Through that, how to control mind will be, yes, yeah. Durjano Patravo Nunam Dussahohi mahiyasam. That means these wicked people, ignorant people, their insult is very difficult to bear. Atas chaturbir adhyayai sahanopaya varnanam. Chaturbihi adhyaya. That means by 4 chapters, we are going to see the techniques to bear those insults. How to tolerate. Tolerance. We are going to learn from this. Okay. तत्र तावदस्मिन् अध्याये भिक्षुगीतया मनोविजय उत्तरस्मिन् प्रकृति पुरुष विवेकः तदुत्तरस्मिन् गुणवृत्ति जयः ततः परस्मिन् ऐलगीतया विषयसंगत्यागेन सत्संग इति क्रमेण उपायाः भगवता वर्ण्यते. There are 4 chapters na. We have to take 4 chapters, 23, 24, 25, 26. 4 chapters are going to deal the 4 things. That means whatever Uddhava asked, so for that techniques, 4 are giving the 4 different techniques. First chapter is Bhikshu Gita. Asmin Adhyaye, Bhikshu Gita is there, Avanti Brahmanas. So then we are going to study Mano Vijaya, how to control mind. Next, Uttarasmin, in the next chapter, Prakriti Purusha Vivekaha. Difference between the Prakriti and Purusha. Uttarasmin, Taduttarasmin, after that chapter. So Guna Vritti Vijayaha. That means functions of these modes and how to conquer those. Tataha Parasmin Ailagitaya. That means after the last, that means 4th chapter. Vishaya Sangatyaga. That means how to get the detachment from the sense objects. So satsanga, that is possible by the satsanga. So these things, these 4 things, we are going to see in these 4 chapters. So Bhagavata Varnite, Lord is going to explain these 4. Ashamshitaha prardito bhrutyasya vachaha satkurvantam. That means very good. Sabash beta, sabash. Uddhava. That means he is asking very nice question, my dear. So like that, Krishna is going to appreciate him first in the coming slokas. Bhrutyam prati abhabhashe. So that means his servant Uddhava, to his servant he spoke. Others are speaking something. Acharyas, Vaishnava, great stalwarts of Vaishnavas. Baba bahut acha kiye. Jiva Goswami. 9 slokas, no commentary. Uda ke rak diye. Very good. Thank you very much. Vishwanath Baba also very kind and merciful. Thank you very much. Oh, okay. Swamiji is enough. Swamiji is enough for us. Okay. Next. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Barhaspatya Nastyatra Sadur Vai Durjanairitai Duruktair Binnamatmanam Yasamadhatumishwaraha. Translation. Lord Sri Krishna said, O disciple of Bruspati. Uddhava is disciple of Bruspati. He learned many things, but he didn't learn few things. How to love? That thing he didn't learn. That's why he went to Gopis to learn that. In that. Anyway, we didn't do that Brahmara Geet. Unfortunately. Only few slokas we did till 8. So, O disciple of Bruspati, there is virtually no sanity man, no saintly man in this world. Sab logon chalu mal. Okay. Or in this world, capable of resting his own mind after it has been disturbed. So by the insulting words of uncivilized men. So that's the people, they give these so many techniques. So when you get angry, you count 10 numbers or 100 numbers. This is bogus. What is this? So when you get angry, you just to control your anger. So they are giving the material techniques. All these material techniques are bogus. Only the one thing that is possible by the Tadharman, by the devotion. By the devotional activities only one can get the tolerance. Not by the, that means Yasyasti Bhaktir Bhagavate Kinjana. By the bhakti only one can get. So that's why Krishna is saying it's very, very difficult in this world to tolerate the anger. So because which is caused by the materialistic people through the material means, it's difficult to control the anger through the material means. So saintly people also, they are saintly people means so-called saintly people, also they are not able to tolerate this. One second, Swamiji is saying that, yeah, tatra tavad angikaraha tattad vachah sampujyati dvapyam. Yes, what Uddhava said, my dear Lord, it's very difficult to control these insults from the other people, from the ignorant people, and focusing on the our goal, that is self-realization, is not an easy thing. That is the said by the Uddhava, and Krishna is also accepting. He is glorifying the Uddhava by accepting his words, by repeating his words. Hey Barhaspatya, Bruhaspate Shishya, O disciple of Bruhaspati, Atra loke saha sadhu nasti. In this world, there is no that kind of sadhu. Yaha durjanoktaihi binnam kshubitam manaha shamayitum so ishwara syat. There is no that kind of sadhu who can tolerate the insults from the so-called materialistic people in this world. There is no such a sadhu. That means he is accepting the argument or the point said by the Uddhava. Next. न तथा तप्यते विद्तः पुमान् बाणैस्तु मर्मगै यथा तुदन्ति मर्मस्था ह्यसतां पुरुषेशवः. Sharp arrows which pierce one's chest and reach the heart don't cause as much suffering as the arrows of harsh insulting words that become lodged within the heart when spoken by uncivilized men. If you take that arrow and pierce the heart, but still it's not so pain. The pain whatever we get when we get the insult. Marmastaha, marmasu eva nityam stitaha. Are Purushokti rupa ishavaha tudanti, that means vyathayanti tatha itare bana, that means, yeah, even arrows also they don't give that much pain. Katayanti mahat punyam itihasamihotava tamaham varnayishyami niboda susamahita. My dear Uddhava, in this regard, O most pious story is told, and I shall now describe it to you. Please listen with careful attention. So that's why Krishna is going to narrate a story about this. So what happened to this camera? देखिए चार्जिंग खत्म हो गया क्या? हाँ, yeah. So
You have to say something, correct?
Krishna is going to explain one story. So how to tolerate these insults from the uncivilized men. So okay, next. Kenachit bhikshuna gitam paribhutena durjanaihi smarata dhrutir vipakam nija karmanam. Once a certain sannyasi was insulted in many ways by impious men. However, with determination, he remembered that he was suffering the fruit of his own previous karma. I will narrate to you his story and that which he spoke. So this Brahmana was insulted, but he accepted everything as a result of his past karma. And Krishna is going to narrate that story now. So, and also what he spoke, that he is going to repeat here. Avantishu dvijah kaschid asid adyatamasriya varta vrittihi kadaryastu. In the country of Avanti, there once lived a certain Brahmana who was very rich and gifted with all opulence, and who was engaged in the occupation of commerce. but he was miserly person, lusty, greedy, and very prone to anger. So this is full of wealth is there, but he is very much lusty. So saha bhikshuhu purvam dhanadhya kruchrat kruchra ajitasya dhanasya kruchrar kruchrarjitasya dhanasya. That means very hard earned money he is having, real money. He did a lot of hard work and he earned that. Dhanasya nashena samtapyamanah nirvinnah san pravrajya bhikshartham athan durjanair upadrutah. So this is sixth sloka. Yeah. Sixth sloka's commentary. Yeah. Prastutopayogini gatham gath. That means he's so miser and santapyamana. That means he's nashen, dhanasya nashena. He is thinking that if I eat this wealth, then it will be finished. So that's why he doesn't want to spend even a single rupee of his hard-earned money. Keep everything, and he used to being a rich man. He is going for the begging because he doesn't want to spend his money. Some pravrajya bhikshartham atan. Then durjanaihi upadruta, and many people are scolding you. You have so much wealth and you are so miser and you are begging. అదేదో సినిమా కోటా సినిమా మాతాజీ తెలుసా వెరీ లాంగ్ బ్యాక్ సో లైక్ ఆనా పిల్లట ప్రస్తుతోపయోగిని ఘాతం. సో దిస్ స్టోరీ is very useful now for replying the Uddhava. So that's why Krishna is selecting the story and is telling. So that miser Brahmana, so what he is going to do, so that you will be seeing here. So Gayata Vaktum Tasya Purva Charitamaha Avantishu Ityadina. That means previously this Brahmana was like this. Avantishu, that means Malaveshu. Avanti is there in the Malaviya. Malaviya, that's a place. Vartam Krushi Vanijjadi Rupa Vrittihi Yasya. So he was doing the business also, being a Brahmana. Kadaryastu, that means Sratau Uktaha. Kadaryaha. Kadaryaha means miser. He is. Gnatayotita Pinachita Sunyavata Atmapi Kale Kamairanachita. In his home, devoid of reality and lawful gratification, the family members and guests were never properly respected. Even with words, he would not even allow sufficient gratification for his own body at the suitable times. So even relatives comes, he never take care them, he never give food for them, sufficient food, even to wife also. And what to speak of wife, even for his own body, he is just hanging a one hen and keep on seeing and keeping the, that means rice, and thinking that I'm eating this hen. I like this. So miser actually. Whatever that, so money is thrown and the dead bodies he is picking up, collecting. Such a miser person. Dushilasya kadaryasya druhyante putra bandhava dara duhitaro brutya vishanna nacharan priyam. Since he was so hard-hearted and miserly, his sons, in-laws, wife, daughters, and servants began to feel inimical toward him, becoming disgusted. They would never treat him with affection. That means nobody is, he is not spending anything, he's having crores of money, but so everyone is disgusted with his nature. One second. Huh? Next, tasyaivam yaksha vittasya chutasyo lokataha dharma kama vihinasya chukrudu pancha bhaginaha. In this way, the presiding deities of the five family sacrifices became angry at the Brahmana, who being niggardly guarded his wealth like a yaksha, who had no good destination either in this world or the next, and who was totally deprived of religiosity and sense enjoyment. All these devatas, panchagnis, that means pancha yagna devatas. That means every day you have to give oblations, these pancha devatas. So that means those Indra something are there that I am not remembering. So this has to be satisfied, but he is not doing anything, any sacrifice. So that's why all those devatas also became angry. Next, tadavadhyana vistrasta vistrasta punya skandhasya bhurida punya skandhasya bhurida artopya gachan nidhanam Bhahvayasa Parishramaha. O magnanimous Uddhava, by his neglect of these demigods, he depleted his stock of piety and all his wealth. The accumulation of his repeated exhaustive endeavors was totally lost because he is not further doing any sort of piety. He is not, if piety is there, then wealth will be there. But he is not doing any piety, and also is not consuming that wealth for the right purpose. There is no increase in the piety, and pieties keep on decreasing day by day. Then he became, there is no piety, there is no wealth. So completely he became a poor. ज्ञातयो जगृहुः किंचित किंचित तस्यव उद्धवा देवता कालतः किंचित ब्रह्म बंधो नृपार्तिवा. Some of the wealth of this so-called Brahmana was taken away by his relatives, my dear Uddhava, some by thieves, some by the whims of providence, some by the effects of time, some by ordinary men, and some by government authorities. Everyone took away his money. So then next, Sayevam Dravine Nashte Dharma Kama Vivarjitaha Upekshitasya Swajanais Chintaya Mapaduratyayam. Finally, when his property was completely lost, he who never engaged in religiosity or sense enjoyment became ignored by his family members, thus began to feel unbearable anxiety. Because no money, friends left him, and now he's on the road. तस्यैवं ध्यायतो दीर्घं नष्टरायस्तपस्विनः खिद्यतो बाष्पकण्ठस्य निर्वेद सुमहानभूत. Having lost of all his wealth, he felt great pain and lamentation. His throat choked up with tears, and he meditated for a long time on his fortune. Then a powerful feeling of renunciation came over him. So he was thinking, what a nasty behavior I was having because of my attachment. And I didn't do any piety. I lost everything. So everything is gone. These all friends, relatives, all because of wealth only they are with me. So nothing is now. So that's why nobody is there with me. And like this, he got the renouncement. Then न चेद न चाहेदमहो कष्टं वृथात्मानेनुतापिता न धर्माय न कामाय यस्यार्थाय स ईदृशः. The Brahmana spoke as follows: Oh, what great misfortune! I have simply tormented myself uselessly, struggling so hard for money that was not even intended for religiosity or material enjoyment. Now he is lamenting. I couldn't use that money for at least some donation I could have given, some dharma, that means some religiosity work I could have done with that, or at least I could have enjoyed. Everything is lost. प्रायेणार्थः कदर्याणां न सुखाय कदाचन इह चात्मोपतापाय मृतस्य नरकाय च Generally, the wealth of misers never allow them any happiness. He is thinking himself, contemplating. In this life, it causes their self torment, and when they die, it sends them to hell. So because they'll be doing a lot of cheating here and there, and they are earning, and in this life there is no happiness because they are not enjoying. It's completely my being a miser of protecting all the time, protecting. So it's giving all the time anxiety and pain, and after the death also they will be getting the punishment for wrong means where they follow to earn that. यशो यशस्विनां शुद्धं श्लाघ्या ये गुणिनां गुणाः लोभः स्वल्पोऽपि तान् हन्ति श्रितो रूपमेवेप्सितम्. Whatever pure fame is possessed by the famous, and whatever praiseworthy qualities are found in the virtuous, are destroyed by even a small amount of greed. Just as one's attractive physical body is ruined by a trace of white leprosy. So greed is there, then complete fame is gone. So that's why, like how the beautiful body, if there is white leprosy, all beauty is out. Ardhasya sadhane siddhe utkarshe rakshane vyaye nashopabhoga ayas Trasaschinta Brahmonunam. In the earning, attainment, increase, protection, expense, loss, and enjoyment of wealth, all men experience great labor, fear, anxiety, and delusion. Kamana, badana, protect karna, spend karna, rakna. Sir, pain is painful and great labor, fear, cause for fear. Steyam himsanrutam dambah kama krodasmayo madah भेदो वैरमय विश्वासः संस्पर्धा व्यसनानि च एते पंचदशानर्थ ह्यर्थमूला नृणाम् तस्मादनर्थमर्थाख्यं श्रेयोर्दे दूरतस्त्यजेत्. Theft, violence, speaking lies, duplicity, lust, anger, perplexity, pride, quarreling, enmity, faithlessness, envy, and the dangers caused by women, gambling, and intoxication are undesirable qualities that contaminate men because of greed for wealth. If you have greed for a wealth, then all these will come and sit automatically there. They will contaminate all. These all will come and contaminate only because of greed for wealth. Although these qualities are undesirable, men falsely ascribe value to them. Even they are all cheap qualities, useless qualities, but unnecessarily they started giving importance for those. One desiring to achieve the real benefit of life should therefore remain aloof from undesirable material wealth. So that's why don't try to gather wealth. Don't be miser. If you are miser, then all these bad qualities will come and stay. Vidyante brataro dara pitara surudastatha ekasnigda kakinina sadya sarveraya kruta. Even a man's brother, wife, parents, and friends united with him in love will immediately break off their affectionate relationship and become enemies or a single coin. एक दमड़ी कौड़ी के लिए पूरा दुनिया का. Just for the piece of land, just for the few bucks. So people, they try to fight and get the death, reach the death. मौत की घाट पर उतार देते हैं. Yes. रख दें और चले. हाँ? कल कर देंगे, चलो 40 कर देंगे कल पूरा, होगा 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 20, ठीक है प्रभु, अत्याहार हो जाएगा। थैंक यू वेरी मच, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। फर्दर देखेंगे कल out of misery, so what is going to happen, so we are seeing. So that's why anyone wants to have that means progress in their spiritual life, they should not be miser. So this much we have seen, so we'll discuss tomorrow. Thank you very much, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.